Success should have no limits, but too many employees off at once, well, that's something you might want to put a cap on. Otherwise, you'll end up looking like John Travolta from that meme, wondering where everyone went. Fortunately, with the latest add-on from Vacation Tracker, Max Users Away, you can set custom rules on how many employees can be off at any given time, because teamwork works better when there's an actual team. Hey, it's Dave from Vacation Tracker here, and for today's video tutorial, we're going to be taking a closer look at the Max Users Away add-on that was just released. To get started with add-ons in general, the first thing you're going to want to do is, of course, log into your Vacation Tracker account, and then you're going to navigate to the left-hand menu and click on add-ons. Here you'll be presented with two tabs, My Add-ons and Discover More Add-ons. My Add-ons, as the name implies, are all the add-ons that you've purchased and are currently subscribed to, versus Discover More Add-ons, which just contains a list of all the available add-ons, as well as some coming down the pipeline. So do be sure to check this out every so often. Since I'm using a demo account, you'll notice that I already have a bunch of add-ons enabled, including the Max Users Away, but in your case, what you're going to want to do is navigate to that Discover More Add-ons tab, find the card that says Max Users Away, and then click on Review and Buy. Once you confirm your purchase, it'll also appear here where you can click on the View button to start creating your policy. Now, if it wasn't clear based on the name alone, this add-on allows you to limit the amount of employees that are away at any given time, either based on a percentage of your company or a flat number of your choosing. It also differs from another add-on that we currently offer, the blackout periods, as that one allows you to specify a time frame in which employees cannot take leave. If you're curious about the blackout periods add-on, I'll be sure to link the tutorial I did so you can learn more. To get started with the Max Users Away add-on, we're going to click on Create Policy here. From here, it's just a simple matter of customizing the settings based on the policy you want to put in place. Now, an important note to make is that with this add-on, you can actually create multiple instances or multiple policies, so don't feel like you need to capture everything in one go. For today, I'm going to use the example of a summer leave policy, as typically that is a time when a lot of employees like to request leave, and we want to ensure that we're not going to be understaffed. So I'm going to start by naming my policy. I'm going to call it summer leave, and then choosing the affected time period. So as you can see, it is a slider, and you can choose even just a few days or a few weeks, but of course, since you want to capture the whole summer, I'm going to make sure to choose from early May to end of August. Next, we decide whether or not this policy will be recurring annually, because obviously in my case as a summer every year, I'm going to check yes. And that way I don't have to worry about creating this policy every year. Now comes the point of limitation. Do we want to limit the number of employees by a percentage or a number? I'm going to leave the default 50, but if you had a specific number in mind, here is where you would enter it. Lastly, for this section is the auto reject response. This is the message that will be shown to your employees when they request leave, but unfortunately get declined. We do offer a standard boilerplate message, but as you can see, it is an open form, so feel free to customize this to fit more the language of your company. The next section is where we decide who does this get applied to. Do we want to have this applied to all users at all leave types, or do we have specific users in mind from a department or a location? This is where I encourage you to maybe create multiple policies, as chances are your departments or locations have varying amounts of employees. For my example, all users is perfectly fine. Now comes the point for leave types. I don't think it's fair to include remote, sick day, birthday, or even jury duty, as these are special kind of leave types, and some of these are out of the employee's control. But for sure, vacation and PTO, those are two I'm going to want to limit. Before I click on save, I did want to draw your attention to this section here. It's just a preview of how many employees will be allowed to be on leave simultaneously at the same time. So this number you see here, 3 users, is based on the settings you configure. So it's just a nice way to double check that you have everything correctly in place. Now that I'm happy with everything, I'm going to click on save, and now the policy is being enacted to my company as we speak. So now when an employee decides to request leave during the period in which your policy is active, on top of the fact that they'll see who's away during that period, which is standard for your Vacation Tracker account, if they decide to ignore that and request leave anyways, their request will be rejected and the message that we decided on will be shown. The same could be said for employees who prefer to use either our Slack or Teams integration to request time off. They'll receive the message in the app over there as opposed through the dashboard here. And now you can keep your business running without running out of people. Thanks again for watching this video. I do hope you find it helpful and informative. But as always, if you have questions, comments, or even just want to leave me a little bit of feedback, you can do so right down below and we will respond to you as soon as possible. In addition to this YouTube channel, we also have our Help Desk Center where there are plenty of articles on how to use Vacation Tracker, so do be sure to check that out if you prefer learning about it that way. And of course, if neither option works for you, you can always reach out to our incredible support team who is always willing to help you out. That's going to be all for this video. Happy vacationing.